Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Black men simply aren't going to college because we have allowed them to remain average and ordinary, and the bar is set in hell for them. Unless they dribble a ball, rap a lyric, sell dope, those are the three buckets we have put them in to be successful. And if you can't fit those three buckets, then you better go into trade school, get you HVAC certified, trucking license, something like that, because that's the only way that you'll make money. That's what the people who raised them and the ideologies that they have about themselves. I know I used to teach high school, I used to teach young black boys, and their whole thing was, I need to get money. I need to get money. Not understanding that you can get money going to college. Sometimes you don't need instant gratification. The realism is we're not teaching them that, hey, buckle down, work hard, go to college for 4 years, get you a degree. Yes, them loans, but hey, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I bet.
College isn't a waste of money when you go in for the right things. The people who feel like college is a waste of money, unfortunately, y'all went to college for shit you probably had no business going to college for, simply got the degree because you had already invested all this time and you didn't have time to switch, and now you feel like you have a degree that's worthless. When it's like, instead, if you actually did the research, took the time to see, hey, IT people make this much money, coding makes this much money, supply chain, they make this much money, marketers make this much money. You don't know how many times I'm in a room somewhere, every job I've worked, the amount of black men in the office, literally I can count on one hand.
All right, so we don't need to hear this whole 3 minute, John. I feel like we got the gist of it. All right, hey, what's going on, family? Aside for No Picks Podcast.
What up, fam? Joe, No Picks Podcast.
It's your man Gio. I'm back
Welcome
listening.
back. Welcome back, G.
Hey.
All right, G. So obviously, as you know, you and I just talked about it a second ago, that there's a pretty big debate on TikTok anyway about black men not going to college at even close to the rates that black women go to college. It's like black women are a certain percent, but black men are like 20% below that. And people are asking why. There's a huge conversation. Black men are responding to black women are having their conversation. We just listened to one of the black ladies talk about why, her perspective on why black men aren't going to college. What's your perspective on why black men aren't going to college?
So yeah,
Interesting.
it's deep, right? Um, First of all, the the reality of it is college isn't a direct access to success or wealth as we associate it with it. It's actually a direct access to debt. And
Mm-hmm.
so when we look at the black power movement, when
Right,
she sit there and was like, "Oh, you go to school and get trades or plumbing,"
right.
our success has always been our ability to manufacture or service our own communities,
Right.
right? Trades have always offered the most access ownership. Why black men aren't going to college is because college isn't made for black men to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
This system is this narrative is a part of the divisive nature of the black community in terms of positioning our women to think that their fight to for independence inside of a system that isn't for them versus our fight for actual freedom are
Right.
two different things. And what I mean by that is they're like the more women are going to college, more women are taking on that debt. She said, "Oh, like we'll talk about those loans later." No,
Right.
that's not how wealth accumulation happens. We need
Right.
to talk about the debt now. We need to talk about like what that looks like now. We know that the interest rates are too high. We know that
Yeah.
like the return on investment is too high. So from a logical business decision making, black men are making the business decision and saying, "Hey, that entity that you promised as a vehicle for success is failing. We
Right.
abandon the ship." Now, the conversely, the women of our group are being incentivized to go to college. They're being told that they can reach a certain level of independence when all they do is wind up being pimped out. Women suffer lower incomes, higher rates, right? And worse protection when they are more independent. And that
Right.
narrative that she was talking about is that like, oh, women are going. She said we set the bar in hell for college for black men. It's like,
Right.
sis,
Yeah.
the bar is set across the board
Right.
for all of us as a generation. So we aren't going to college because we know that it's bullshit, right? As like, you know, we went to college. The average person goes, they major in the stuff that she was talking about. As somebody that majored in STEM, we aren't preparing our students in America to major in those fields. That's why we
Right.
don't major in them. It's not that we don't want to, it's that we aren't qualified, or we're being discouraged from participating in them. So then we do wind up with a bunch of people in communications or social work, when it's like there are only but so many jobs, and those jobs don't have the income levels. So
They
unless
don't.
we're going to change the actual educational system, so we preparing students to
Yeah.
go to school and take up STEM, etc., you talk about a whole nother problem. So
Yeah.
it's deep. It's so many fucking things that's wrong with.
Right.
Well, my bad, but there's so many things that's wrong with like the narrative that we aren't going to college because we're lazy. No, like college isn't helping us succeed, and it hasn't helped any group achieve financial wealth.
Right.
That's not
Facts.
how. That's not how
Facts.
white people achieve financial wealth. That's not how the Asians achieve financial wealth. That's not how no group achieve financial wealth. And the fact that the women are fighting so hard for that
For
is an
it.
indication
Yeah.
of where we are in the system.
Yeah. What you think, Joe?
That's real, G. We missed you, brother. I'm glad you came back for your perspective, and
Yeah.
I co-sign on damn near everything this man said.
Yeah.
Yes. I feel like, do you guys remember like around 2000? I mean, I think I graduated from college in 09. And at that time, I remember we were talking about how the market was overly saturated with college degrees. You had all these people with
Yeah.
college degrees out there who couldn't find work, or
Right.
who were competing for the same limited amount of jobs.
Right.
And there was an oversaturation of college degrees.
Right.
So you had people out here with all these BAs with six-figure debt, couldn't find work. They were working as baristas. They were doing like
Yeah.
side hustles. They were doing gig jobs. And you mean to tell me that I'm going into six-figure debt to find some job that's going to help me pay off this degree that put me in six-figure debt? It makes absolutely no sense,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I already saw that as college was getting more expensive, colleges for me and universities are like private companies now.
Yeah.
I see them all as like little small private companies trying to do business and trying to make money. And I want to be clear. I'm not trying to say that people shouldn't go for higher education. Like, I want to make that very clear, because I know
Right.
that there's a value in that and there's a place for that, right? I don't want to, people who are aspiring to get degrees, I don't want to shy you away from that. People who want to go to graduate school, like, I'm not trying to crap on people who have that, right?
Right.
There's a place for that. But I feel like for our men, me speaking as a man, like, it just, bro, there's so many times when I go back and I was like, yo, I wish I had picked up a trade.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
if I could trade in my degree to go back and pick up a trade, to do painting, to do construction, to do civil engineering, to do carpentry, something where I could do something hands-on and do contracting and have my own business,
Right.
and have a skill that's always going to be in demand. I would much rather have that than the piece of paper that says, that from political studies.
Right.
I'd much rather have that, right? So no, I agree with Ty. With G. Short answer, like, I just think that times have changed, and I think that men have caught on to this game. I would
Right.
hope that men are catching on to this game, where it's like, yo, it's not, you don't have to go to college to be successful.
Right.
You don't have to go to college to build generational wealth. You don't have to go to college, because society is telling you this is the way to go. It's for social mobility. Like, it's a way to that for some people, but
Right.
nowadays it's too expensive, bro. It's too expensive, and there aren't enough jobs, and I don't think it's worth it right now. So I'll
Facts.
leave it at that for now.
All right. So listen, before I give my answer, I love what both of y'all said, but before I give my answer, I want to play a little clip. Yeah. So this is going to be a part of my answer. All right.
There's a lot of things in this world that I'll pay, but student loans is not one of them. I'll be seeing like people stress out about paying student loans, and I'm not going to have that stressor. Why? Because I'm just not going to pay it. I just don't get the concept of me furthering my education and going to school so I can be in debt $100,000. I just don't understand. So what y'all telling me is that we can fund wars for countries that ain't got nothing to do with us, but we making our Americans pay all this money in debt for school. Then what happened to Biden? Biden, you said you was that's how you got us. You said you was gonna cancel 10,000 or 20,000, whatever the case may be. I ain't seen a cancellation yet. So I'm just trying to figure out who's the people that actually got canceled. Because I ain't seen nobody come on this internet here and say that their student loans have been canceled. The government is going to have to get them student loans by blood because I'm never going to just make a payment on them. Never. Yeah, I'm going to have to come take that out of my check in order to get it because it ain't happening. It just ain't.
All right. So there's two things I want to talk about
Okay.
with my answer, right? so the chick was like, "Oh well, men are. We'll talk about the debt later. Of course you will, because you're not going to fucking pay it. You're just gonna you're just gonna be in debt, never buy a house, and you're not gonna pay it, right? So it's like this $100,000 debt that you have. You're trying to figure out how ways not to pay it. You should see how many clips that come on my feed talking about some people be like, well, listen, if you want to temporarily get your credit up, dispute the student loans. That way, once they find out that you're not paying the student loans, your credit can jump up. Think about a house. So it's like these things are trying, like they're going out their way to like not pay the student. These black women are going out their way to not pay the student loans. The debt that they voluntarily racked up because they wanted to be so smart and whatever. And I would agree with what both of y'all said, but I think G, you mentioned it a little bit more in detail. You said the degrees that y'all get are relatively useless. They be useless as fuck. They be like underwater basket weaving. So how many, Joe, in at LaSalle, when you and I went to LaSalle, how many psychology chicks did you meet? It was so many, bro. It was so sociology, psychology, like just random shit. How many of them women that we knew back then that were psychology majors became a psychologist?
No.
None of them.
No.
So y'all be having these useless ass degrees. You got $100,000 of debt and you make $40,000 a year. You're never going to pay that back. You're going to die with debt. So if a black man is like, oh, okay, cool, I want to be in a better position, I don't want to have all this debt. I went to college. I graduated from college with substantial debt. If I could go back, I would either change my major or not go at all, or go to CCP with way less debt, with Community College of Philadelphia, and have a lot less debt, but still have a bachelor's degree. All I need to work at the job where I have now is a bachelor's degree. They didn't care what it was in. It could have been in physics or it could have been in gym. They didn't care. They just like, hey, you got a bachelor's degree, you can work here. They didn't care. So I'm a criminal justice major. That shit is useless, bro. It's a useless fucking degree. So was it cool learning this stuff? I had the time of my life, but I got out. If I'm a criminal justice major, I thought niggas were going, oh, this nigga criminal justice major. They didn't give up. Them jobs didn't care. They didn't care.
Right.
So no, if you're talking about well, we worry about the debt later. Your plan is to not pay it. So of course you never worrying about it.
Yeah.
No, bro. Yeah. The reality of it is that like you only make money from going through college by specializing. So like if you're gonna be a doctor, you're gonna be a lawyer. Like that's what college is for. College isn't to go to get like general jobs, right? Like and America isn't preparing our students to go and get those jobs anyway. Like if you went to school in America,
my bad, not to cut you off. What the fuck you gonna do with an art history degree besides be an art history teacher? What the fuck are you gonna do with an art history degree? Anthropology. What are you gonna do with that shit?
Well, so this is not to like rag on them. It's stuff you can do, but it's going to take you getting to such a level of authority, right? That like most of what you do is get paid to show up. Most of those professors, they get, once you get to like art history and you get your PhD, you just become an authority in the space, and now you're just a public speaker. So that's basically what happens, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So there's something you can do, but it takes so much dedication and effort towards it, and we don't. And it's people
by then you're probably $200,000 in fucking debt because you went to 80 schools. You know what I mean? Like you got way more debt. Now you gotta have the OnlyFans. You gotta be sucking somebody off on the weekend to help pay this shit off.
But so this goes into a deeper conversation about like the American people and what we view as our access to this country, right? We have gotten so far removed from participating in the hey, we don't have to do that part. There's a part of all of this shit, right, where like you do need a marketable skill, but we have let these colleges become like just unregulated businesses. There's no fucking way, yo. They gave like if you look back at them, remember signature loans? We all old enough to remember. Them
Yeah.
fucking interest rates on those loans are criminal. Criminal. Like I'm talking about on a $3,000 loan, I probably owe $20,000.
G.
What?
You care about the loans. You care about the interest rate. You looked at the fine print. These sisters don't give a fuck. So that's why we suck and they're awesome because they're like, fuck it, I'll sign whatever. They don't intend to pay it back anyway.
But that's the divisive nature. An unprotected woman can be solicited. An unprotected woman
True.
can like she's going to take a
It's true.
job. She's going to go to school. She's going to go to school, get a degree, borrow money at worst at higher interest rates, get paid at the similar job at a less income, pay a higher mortgage, right? Don't question like the rates or none of that shit. Whereas if you got a man in the house, no, we're not paying that. That don't make sense. This is literally a part of the divisive nature of America, right? To take the man in our responsibility because we're making those conscious decisions. That's why America is such in debt because the man has been taken out of the household, right? It's like, hey, you can run it up on these women because they're going to be like, oh, we got to pay it. We got to get jobs.
Right.
And they're so busy fighting for their independence in this system instead of fighting for the freedom that we all deserve. So they all
Like,
go ahead.
just like having a fucking degree in and of itself is not an accomplishment.
It's zero.
It's not like I don't understand why women. Well, first of all, so black women in particular, because they love to say, "Hey, we the most educated," which they are, right? They most because they have the most degrees. Like as far as like percentage wise, based off the population of the country that they make up. Like I don't get like the idea of a degree to me was to get a degree in order to get a job to make a bunch of money. Like the money was the goal. The degree wasn't the goal. So I don't understand why they're like the degree is the goal for them. So as long as they have the degree, they're like, oh well, fuck it, I made it. Like no, nigga, you I don't care how many degrees you have or how many PhDs you have. If you make $30,000 a year, you didn't make shit.
America,
You need someone to help take care of you because you can't live as an adult in America off $30,000.
but you can
Right.
consume. So that's like you can. So this think about America and its debt problem, right? And its correlation to women independence, right? And how, right? Consumerism is at an all-time high, right? Like they're you'll get a $30,000 job, go to college, and borrow $100,000, and then take out hundreds of $1,000s of credit card debt so you can go on the trips and afford all of these clothes and get your hair done and nails done. You just made America $1 million off of you, and then you're going to indoctrinate your children into the same way of fucking thinking. And that's like literally what's been happening in this country.
It's like the opposite of generational wealth. You know what? Because generational wealth is like a black buzz term now. Like as soon as you say that, because niggas be getting scammed off that now too. I don't know if y'all peep that. People be like these real estate companies be popping up, and as soon as they have a seminar, be like generational wealth. Every black person pull out their checkbook and be like, oh my god, let me get. And it turns out them motherfuckers be scamming the whole time too. So it's like you say generational wealth to a black person, they like, oh shit, I'm here. I'm listen. I want generational wealth too. So it's like the opposite of generational wealth. That the process you just described is like you have generational debt. Nigga,
look at like literally that's like so from the 1960s and 70s, right? So from the 70s, right, and like right around like women's suffrage and the independence movement, like when they started that, literally from that, and then taking the trades out of the schools, right? So you strip people of the ability to be self-sufficient, right?
right.
There's literally a simultaneously like handicapping of the American people through this system, and then the woman has been the biggest consumer in America is who?
Right.
Right?
Like
That's
women
why
have like
advertisement is focused on women. Usually it's focused on women and children.
Like
But mostly
so
women.
we gave y'all money, we gave y'all independence so that you because he was going to not give me my. So when we talk about generational wealth was rights back in the day. We wanted the ability to actually own our shit. Remember when we actually owned shit? When you bought a house and you didn't have to pay property tax, and you bought cable or you bought something that was yours.
Right.
But and this is listen to the women out there. This is not coming at y'all. Y'all outnumber men. Y'all outnumber us, right? In almost every state across the board.
Yeah.
Y'all are to blame because y'all can't get along even on y'all shit. If women's rights, let's just take this like random women's rights. Women could say, "Yo, women should get 2 years maternity leave, and if all the women agree,
And they voted for it. And then, I mean, like, yeah.
like, it wouldn't matter
It
if it
would
was
happen.
Republican or Democrat. It would just be like, yo, women,
Right.
we should every bathroom should have fucking sanitary napkins. The government should pay for it. If all the women in the country agree
Voted
to
for
it.
it, man.
But they
Right.
are so easily marketed to. As a marketer,
Right.
she mentioned as a marketer, bro. When I'm making my marketing material, it is to
Right.
manipulate the women, and it
To
works.
manipulate the women.
It
That's why
literally,
panderers make so much money off of them.
Mm-hmm.
All the people
Yeah.
who be on social media pandering as well
Yeah.
and giving them the feel good Kool-Aid and, you know, telling them the one side of the story without the other half of the story and just like pandering to women, and they make money off of it.
All men ain't shit. Like that's all. Like that. Like there's a like a whole diagram that you could go by to make money off women. Like it's like you just be
Right.
like, yo, men ain't shit. Women never make a mistake. Y'all all awesome. Fuck men. All men should die. You're gonna make money.
Right.
You're gonna make money.
call them queen.
Absolutely.
Call them a queen. Yeah.
Call them
Call them
queen.
queens.
Yeah.
Call them queen. Yeah. So I want to add a couple points to that, and I want to make sure that we touch on the original conversation, not the original conversation, but we're talking about black men going to college, or the lack of black men in college.
Right.
At some point, I want us to touch on the perspective of black women who were saying it's because black men don't know how to read, because black men are dumb. There were women who were coming out being like, black men don't go to college because black men are illiterate, right? So I want you guys to comment on that, but not yet, right? But I just want to make sure we at least touch on that, because that was some of the backlash that came out of this whole, where are the black men at, why they ain't going to school, right? But what I also want to say is that the American college experience is so not unique, but think about it. There are other countries that pay higher taxes, and what do they get? They get universal health care, they get paid childcare, free childcare, and they get free college. Now I know this is driving Ty crazy in the inside, because he's like, what? Higher taxes, free college, free health insurance, free all this.
So
yeah, there are some countries that pay higher taxes and they get universal health care, free childcare, and they get college. I would much rather pay higher taxes and get all those things instead of paying taxes and shipping that shit to Ukraine or to Israel, right? I want to make that very clear, because at least I can see that my money is going towards something. I'm getting free childcare, I'm getting a free college education, and I'm getting health insurance. Here, we pay taxes, and we don't know where the hell that money goes to. You know what I mean? We literally have a department now, whether you think it's a fraudulent one or not. I don't know how I feel about Doge. That's trying to go off the government waste, because there's so much waste in our government.
Right.
You know what I mean? But also just the money that we ship abroad to foreign countries and to fund all these wars. But anyway, my point is, in America, we pay so much for these degrees, but you got to understand, there are other developed countries that college is free, y'all. College is free in other developed countries. We go into six-figure debt to get our degrees, to come out there into a job market that does not have enough jobs for us. You see what I'm saying? So Americans are just getting scammed, and they don't even see how this is such a scam, that our American colleges and universities are exploiting us and scamming us to get these degrees when there aren't even enough jobs to give us for that. And I think that's something that should be noted too. Like, Americans don't understand how bad we have it right now. Like,
I mean, I definitely got scammed. I agree.
You know
with
what I'm saying, dude? My college was
$42,000
$42,000 a year when I started in 2005.
Right.
Now it's about $58,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just for 1 year.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah.
But
that's insane.
Just think about like the cost of college, right, and how it's risen in just that short period of time. But then you look at like the salaries and incomes, and then how it hasn't risen, right? And so, like you said, the American people have been prostituted out, and our main fucking contributor to that is the women. And I'm sorry, like I've been coming to this.
You surprised to hear G say this shit?
I'm surprised.
You think it's gonna come from me?
No, listen. I've been saying this shit so that because you just said it, like you was talking about how the women, like the women talking about the men can't read and whatever.
Yeah,
the women are so inundated into the American system, right? They are fighting to be what they say we are. And they don't even realize it. Like, they don't even realize like how narcissistic, how separatist, how like belittling, like they just like, it's just elitist. So elitist. It's like, bro, just because you went to like, bitch, I can read. I read all day. I read actual books. Like, what are you talking about? And so there's so many things that just due to, and it's intentional. It's not a mistake. It's intentional. This
Right.
is literally what they wanted to do. And when I say they, I know I sound like a conspiracy theorist, but the powers that be, the corporations, their biggest consumer is the woman. And if she's alone,
Right.
if she's vulnerable, if she doesn't
Yeah.
have a man that's gonna tell her, yo, don't buy that, don't do that, don't, no, we're not borrowing this money for that dumbass shit. We can't afford it. She's not gonna spend her money. We actually gonna build some wealth.
Yeah.
But if he's not in the house, if she can spend freely,
Yeah.
if she can, and
She
she can
will
be,
spin herself
she,
into oblivion.
Right.
she listen. I saw a clip, and I'm sorry to take. I saw a clip of a girl having a breakdown because she got approved for a loan for a Birkin bag, a fucking Birkin
Alone.
bag. You hear me,
Was it made in China?
Tyrese?
Was it made in China? Did you hear about all
Yeah,
that?
yeah, I
The
heard
Listen,
about
China
that. Yeah.
she
brands?
got approved for a Birkin bag loan and was
She was so
having like,
happy, bro.
she was like, praise God, he's the best. And I'm like, bitch, that
That's
Right.
sad, bro.
26.5 APR is going to kill you. Do you hear me?
And you
Yeah.
already ain't paying your student loans. We already
You
know. We
already,
know he ain't pay you.
and they're
Right.
you gonna default on it and all of the above.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
And it's funny that you mentioned that. There was another case where a black woman, a black couple she was mad at her boyfriend because he had a 800 or something credit score, and he refused to co-sign a loan to get her a bag. I forget what brand it was, but she was mad at him because she was like, "How you got this good credit score, but you're not trying to co-sign on this loan so I can get this bag?" And he's just like, "Why would I go into
What?
thousands of dollars in debt over a bag?" And she just couldn't. She was so angry at him because he wouldn't do it.
This is
And
crazy,
it's just
bro.
like this disconnect that some women have, and it's
This is
just like,
sick, yo. This is
It's
y'all
sick.
terrorism. It's a
tripping, bro. Like,
disease. It's a
Yeah.
disease. And it, like, literally, bro, like, as a marketer, the shit is intentional. Like, we
right,
study, we research, we figure out, like, yo, what are they going through? What are they stressing about? And we play on the fears,
right,
like, it's literally emotional and psychological warfare. And it's
right.
all day. It's all day. They being marketed to.
And they sipped the Kool-Aid up, bro. That's why I was so infuriated with the Democratic Party. Because, like, former Senator of Ohio, Nina Turner, she spoke about that. She was like, the Democratic Party has emasculated the black man and has propped up the black woman so hard and has just like made, they have, like, black women have fully sucked, like, they're drinking the Kool-Aid for the Democratic Party and they're loving it. And they've emasculated the black man and they've kept it that way. And they've propped them up and they've let our boys down to prop up our girls. And I'm not saying that women didn't need support, but, like, there's a concerted effort to
Right.
push our women further and further ahead down this, like, college route, down this, like, super liberal route, and to keep our men, like, just behind and to demonize them or to emasculate them. Like, bro, it's by design. Like,
You're
it's
not
happening by
protected.
design.
If you got a man in the house, like, a man is going to protect you from solicitation. You don't belong
Right.
to anybody else but me until you're old enough to belong to yourself. You
Right.
don't belong to the government. I don't give a fuck if the cops come here. Like, if you got a daddy, right? Like, with your kids, hey, you call whoever you want. You could call Jesus Christ. Ain't nobody in the world. Ain't nobody. I'm over these ones right here. They belong to me. Anybody, they report to me about it. When you take that
Yeah.
away, and this is the result. So when we talk about, like, the result, the state of the black community, it is that it's that absenteeism. It's that if the women don't like what the men are today, it's because y'all raised them.
But G, a part of
Oh,
that.
wait, whoa. Let that sit because that just came out of G's mouth. G, what have you been on, bro? Like,
He been on my
I agree
algorithm.
with you, but I'm just shocked that these perspectives are coming out of your mouth, bro. I agree with you 100%. I'm
Yeah.
just like, what, G?
No, so listen, right? I have, I have, I've always been partial, right? I've always tried to be, like, like, impartial. I always try to be. I have done enough of trying to justify what's going on from their perspective, and
Right,
it's just like I said, what the women have gotten so bad, like, it's so
right,
bad, right? Like,
right, right.
like Tyrese, like, arguing with
Ty, he
Tyrese.
saw the light.
Yeah,
He sees it now.
I be arguing with Tyrese, and I'm like, come on, bro, like, don't be. I be arguing with them, and I'm like,
Oh, you be
you,
like, I agree with this nigga now. You
I'm
like,
like, yeah,
Yeah,
I see it. I see.
we
Yo,
see
I'm
it.
like, you're
That's why we
making him
say the
right.
community
You're
is
making
cooked.
him right. I'm like, yo, you're making him right. Don't make Tyrese right. You're
Yeah.
making him right, bro.
G.
Ty, we've been saying for a while, like, yo, the community is cooked.
Yeah.
Because there's a disease happening within our women, not just our men, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is with women is they don't want to acknowledge it or claim it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you can't change something unless you acknowledge it, unless you highlight the problem and take an account for it. Then you can start that. But when you don't even account for it,
Yeah.
either because you lack the self-awareness,
Yeah.
or you just your level of ego and narcissism has gotten so high that you can't even like you're not going to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Like, how do we start the solution when you can't even own it?
Listen,
you got to own it first to fix it.
I'm gonna say listen, women can't lead, man. Women cannot lead, bro. Like, they can't lead men. They need a man, bro.
I mean,
So listen, so now I'm gonna come back. Now I'm coming back to regular Geo. Right now I'm coming back to regular Geo. The true leadership has always been about partnership. Partnership is about doing what's best based on what you can do in a relationship and what
but who leads?
Yeah, no. There can't
Who
be,
leads?
but G,
You
it can't
got a
be 50-50.
football team.
No,
You got one quarterback.
You got one quarterback.
No,
Who's the quarterback?
no, you don't. You have a coaching staff.
G, how about that? Take
Offensive
this.
coordinator.
G,
You have a
wait,
head coach.
But all right. Take the football analogy out. I've been in this situation before, so let me explain this scenario. I'm a saver. I want to save money. X is a spender. She wants to spend money. She wants to go to the Dominican Republic and spend money that we don't have. She wants to do this. There is no meeting in the middle. So it's like, who makes that decision?
Right.
So one of the two decisions are going to be made. Either we stay home and save up money to fix our roof, or we go to Dominican Republic and we just put it on a credit card and we pay the minimum balance each month until we just figure it out. One decision has to be made. She has her decision, and I have mine. Who makes the final decision? There is no meeting in the middle.
No, there always is. So there's like,
if we go to Dominican Republic, then she won out.
No.
If we stay home, then I won out.
No. So this is how the relationships are supposed to go. So hey, listen, we can't afford that now. We have to make these sacrifices in this amount of time to be able to do that. Do you agree?
I'm not doing that though. GG, I'm not doing that. We're going in December. I want to go in December. Now what? I don't want to go in May. I want to fucking go in December.
But you're talking about the thing. So you're talking about what it's not supposed to be, what it currently is. I'm just arguing what it's supposed to be. What it's supposed to be is like the leadership is supposed to be two people that can come to a rational decision and balance it out. Because
but you're not answering the question.
Wait. Let me just say why. Right. The idea is to find a balance. There is a part of saving money that we have to do for the future, but there is a part of living that we have to do. We have to have these experiences as well.
Are we going to December or are we not going? Just are we? You're trying to be cute about it. Are we going in December or are we going to December 22nd? Or are we not going?
Listen, if
we're not going, then I won.
No, we won.
She want to go in December. She don't want to wait till May.
We won. We won because it's a family.
She don't feel that way. Guess what, G? If you feel like you won, she's gonna her girlfriends are gonna be like, this nigga's controlling you. He's
problem.
A scumbag.
There is no. That's the problem, and it's that versus mentality. That's the root. There is no winning. There is no I won, you won. We are on the same fucking team. We are working together. We are doing this together. So anytime that's the
idea. That's the idealistic situation. But what really happens?
That's what really is.
Okay.
It's been positioned as to be different.
But G, if she doesn't get what she wants, she's not looking at it as we both won.
I know. Because she's a child.
So that's the problem.
No, yeah, I know. She's a child.
Okay, then you got to lead the child. You got to take her hand and say, we're crossing the street, honey. Let's wait to the light. Let's press the button. Let's cross the street.
But you can't lead a child that wants to act like an adult.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Then
the reality becomes, right. Like, and this is where we are as a community, because leaders lead. We have to figure out how do we lead from this position.
You know what I'm gonna say, but you know what I'm gonna say with that. You can't lead. Listen, you cannot lead someone that refuses to be led. But you and I both know women in our lives that are like, you are not going to lead me.
No, but see, listen,
you can't. There's no leader. That's why niggas get traded from football teams. You be like, yo, that nigga's a problem. He got to fuck about the locker room. He's an asshole.
But then there's but if you find a good coach for that player that got that talent,
ain't enough time in the world, bro. Ain't enough time in the world for that. I might die. I might die hoping that I find
it's not hoping. It's about us as leadership. We are being outmarketed to. That's what it is. The reality of it is that like our women are being tricked into believing that what we're trying to get them to do is the opposite. So like you just said, that's cool. That's going to be the issue. The issue is going to be in her mind. She told her friends that she was going in December. And because she told her friends she was going to December, she's attached to it. And she doesn't want to deal with the embarrassment and shame of like, yo, I got to reschedule or we didn't have the money because there's a presentation part for them that's way more important. And so we have to find a way to retrain our women into
now you're being controlling. Now you're being controlling.
Now you're narcissistic. Now you're misogynistic. Nah, G, nah.
No, I hear what you're saying. I
hear what you're saying. So I got
like you should really traumatize it because I hear that shit. I'm like, but I'm trying to help you.
But
I know, bro. I know they're not trying to hear it, bro.
But in real life, though, we know what the conversation is really gonna be. You're talking about something. Yeah, oh well, in a perfect world, shit. I'm just talking. Me and Joe talking about something. This is how to really fuck it go. You've had enough conversations with enough women to know that shit ain't gonna fly. If she thinks she going in December, ain't nothing you can say, bro.
So all right. So I want to say. So G, once again, I'm gonna make a point, but. I'm so happy that you're slowly starting to see the light.
He red pill now, Joe. He red pill.
And understand that we weren't up here just like trying to like bash women, but we're just like shorties. Like the community is cooked right now, and a big part of this problem is that our shorties are out of control. Can't nobody hold them accountable. Can't nobody tell them about themselves. Nah. Not even their own. Facts. Even women can't tell women about them. And we used to ask that question, like, "Yo, who can hold our black women accountable?
None. Nobody.
Who? If the black man can't do it." Who else is gonna hold our women accountable? If they don't want, like, who holds them accountable, bro? Like, honest question. Like, it's like who?
Nobody.
Like,
but even still. So I've always been adjacent to you guys. My positioning is still the same in terms of.
Don't sound like it, nigga.
So my positioning is it is our duty. It's our duty as the men to lead them to where they're supposed to be. Now I'm just doing it in the more.
Well, Joe kind of agrees with that.
So now I'm just doing it more direct. Now I'm doing. Now I'm just calling. Now I'm calling you bitches. I think I'm calling you bitches out. Like I try to do it a nice way. Y'all can go back watch the clips. Like I was on y'all side, and. Fuck, y'all not listening. Y'all not getting it. So
see, this is a man that has seen. He seeked it. He seeked the way, bro.
I agree. So this is what I was gonna ask G, and for Ty too, because Ty brings this point up a lot, and it's such a good point, right? And this idea that not only that, but then our women get degrees, right? But the thing is, usually when men start making money and start making bread, we're thinking, oh, bet now I got more money so I can provide for my family.
Fact.
I don't expect my woman like, oh, I'm making 150 now, so now my wife got to make at least 6 figures because I'm making 6 figures, so my wife got to make 6 figures now.
Right.
I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah.
If I'm good and I can take care of my wife, and this point Ty disagree with. If I can retire my wife, I'll retire my wife. Stay your ass at home, raise our children, take care of the home, give me a home cooked meal. I'm happy. I make enough money where you ain't got to work no more, baby girl. But for women, is they get the degrees, they start making this bread. Now if I make 6 figures, he got to make 6 figures. Yeah. And on top of that, it better not be no 50-50. So it's like, so you got your degree, you got the equality and the freedom to go get this education and to earn more money, but you don't want any of the responsibility that comes with making that money? How does that work?
Wait.
G, answer that for me, G. How does that work? That makes no sense to me. You got all this bread, but now you want a man who makes just as much, if not more. But for men, it's like, yo, if I'm making 150, my wife ain't got to make 150.
Yeah,
I'll take the barista at fucking Starbucks as long as she look good and she laughs at my jokes. She can be broke as shit. I will retire her. You see what I'm saying?
It's all
that
propaganda.
Makes no sense with our women.
So for them, like whenever you hear that narrative, you can tell that like that person has never lived in real life experiences or examples. And I say this shit, bro, and I sometimes I get in trouble for it. I'm very fortunate, bro. I grew up in a 2-parent household, and it wasn't perfect, right? I grew up like in the hood. when I say that shit, I mean I saw two people of two different personality types actually come together to make decisions. I had to learn how to compromise. I seen the real expectations of what a relationship looks like in terms of working through shit and building shit, making sacrifices for the greater good. Like you
Right.
just Joe said, like somebody got to be home to raise the kids. One of us need to make money. There's like one of us got to be home to get the kids to practice, and somebody got to cook dinner. There's just certain shit that you see in reality that like when you grow up around it, you know what it actually looks like. When they have that narrative, I would ask them, how much do your daddy and your mommy make? What do that look like? And they like, oh, my mom did it by herself. And I've shut the fuck up then. You've never actually saw that. You've never actually
Right,
like
right.
the narrative. What you're saying
Right.
is based off of like news clips and
TV or
other
some shit
shit
like
that
that.
you
Like, yeah.
saw.
Right.
Because
Right.
if a man is financially stable, he's going to take care of his family. He's going to provide without question.
Right.
It's not. It's like it's literally ingrained in us to do that. I'm going to want to do it. If I can't, and
Right.
you signed up to be my partner, you're going to leave me because I can't. That's more about you than it is about me. Because I'm
Right.
here.
Right.
It's men that show up every fucking day. Every day. And that's the one thing, like growing up with a daddy. My daddy wasn't the richest.
Right.
You watched that clip with Damon Wayans. My daddy did one thing. He came home every fucking day. My mom talking shit to him. He ain't have enough money. We doing all of this stuff, and all of her
Right.
anger and frustration that she felt, the nigga showed up consistently. There's a
Right.
part of reality. And the same thing with my mom. My dad and his fucking like tricking and being all sneaky and thinking it's some shit better. My mom made sure that nigga had food every fucking morning and night. You know what I'm saying? Made sure that his kids weren't out running the street. Like I ain't never been in jail or none of that shit. My dad wasn't home. I knew he was coming. So I ain't going to he's coming.
Right. Yeah.
But like
Right.
but there was a partnership. The narrative now is so disconnected from real life experiences. Everything is is
Right.
sensationalized because it's news clips, and then it's the perspective. Like people can craft their lives. Everybody tell me successful relationships that they see, and it's like, well, show me. Because any successful relationship, like on the real, like y'all marriages, y'all however long y'all been married, right? It's been a partnership. The parts of
Right.
y'all, like, there's parts of that shit that y'all make work, right? Like there's like, yo, the
Yeah.
kids got to get here. All right, cool. You got I'm a do this and you gonna do that. Most women are so disconnected from actual relationships, from actual partnerships because they've never seen it, bro. They
Right.
never seen
Yeah.
it, bro. And like
Right.
men too. But but our drive is to do that, is to provide. We're being
Yeah.
told to do it.
Right.
They're being told to be independent. They're being told to
Right.
like be by yourself.
Right.
So then when you get into
Right.
partnership, they're like, oh well, I don't know what to do. It's like it's
Right.
not that. It's not doing those things. Like you've been trained to think
Right.
that you had to fight for yourself. I've
Right.
been trained to
Right.
think that I gotta fight for you. We fight in
Right.
two different fights.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
fighting me,
Right.
I'm fighting everybody that's
Right.
against
Yeah.
us.
No, I'm with you, G. Listen, we gotta. This is another conversation. We gotta have this conversation again. We
Oh, it's
really do.
getting good. It's getting
It's yeah, yeah.
good.
We gotta have it again. But yeah. So final thoughts, y'all. Final thoughts. We don't want to make this too long.
Got you.
I know, but this
Yeah.
has been great.
Yeah, it
I'm
has
glad
been.
we hashed this
Listen, I
one out
loved it. I
because
loved you coming back, G. Listen, this has been a fantastic perspective, bro. Listen, you are red pill, bro. You red pill now, bro. Like I'm sorry to tell you.
I've been red pill, bro. It's just that I've been over here. I know that waking somebody up out of a slumber is hard. So I've been like, yo, get up. Hey, man, get up. Now, get the fuck up. Now that's what
Right.
now I'm like,
yeah.
hey,
No, that's
because where
real.
we are, the world has changed. The final thoughts. So final thoughts. If any of my lady friends ever watch any of this, if you see this, the reason why this is coming out like this is because where we are. I need you. I need you to get over that narcissism. I need you to remove those barriers. I need you to trust me. We are under attack, and if you don't let me protect you the way that I'm designed to, we are fucked. We are fucked. Okay. I'm
Okay.
designed to protect you. Like I'm made for it. I'm built
Mm,
for this shit. I'm like whatever. Like
Yeah.
you haven't seen a nigga like me. Like you've never seen nothing like this. I'm like, and it's a bunch of us. If you let us
right.
lead, I guarantee you that generational wealth, that security, that peace, your children, that future that you deserve, we are going to build it, but you have to trust me.
All right, Joe.
Woo.
Yeah,
That was well. I mean, listen. Yes, G. I'm loving it, bruh.
Yeah.
I am loving it. I'm loving it. As a final thought, what I will say is, um, Black women, we are not your enemy. We are not, like, I know that society or the media has painted us as that, but we really aren't. We love y'all, and just understand that, not that our patience is wearing thin, but like men have started checking out. And what I mean by that is, you're seeing all these single events where there are no men.
yeah,
You're seeing churches complaining about a lack of husbands, a lack of prospects.
right,
You're seeing men just grinding on their purpose, stacking up bread, not really dating, not really. You see the marriage rates declining. Like, men have basically seen, like, okay, so if we ain't ish, if our women don't want to be
right,
led, if our women want to be independent, if they don't need no man, then I'm gonna just do me. I'm gonna stack my bread up, and I'm gonna just, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be on my purpose. And I think that women are starting to, they're starting to feel that, right? And I really think that the chickens are coming home to roost. And I think that we're seeing all of this coming. It's all coming to fruition now. Everything is about to culminate, and we're gonna see the real impact of decades of this mentality that women have been kind of fostering, and it's been building, and it's gonna culminate very, very soon. Um,
yeah,
but just know that we're not your enemy. We love y'all. I try not to speak for everybody, but
right.
if y'all agree, then we love y'all. We're not the enemy, and please work with us. Like, we want to build with y'all. We really do.
Yeah.
So that's my final
All right.
thought.
My final thought. Yeah, listen, y'all can't listen. Y'all gotta. The thing about college that I always thought was valuable is the money after college. It's not the college degree itself. I thought that was useless. That was just a vehicle in my head in order to be able to make money and support whomever I had to support. But y'all put a weird emphasis on the degree itself, as if like, now that you have the degree, now you're cool, now you can make it. No, you can still be homeless, but you just, like what Kanye say, oh well, now I'm homeless, but I got these degrees to keep me warm at night. Like, no, like, you still, like, because you're not even trying to pay the debt, so you're gonna keep this debt on your. Hey, Joe, remind us, how long does a student debt stay on your credit report?
Forever.
Forever. Forever.
Forever. Once you cancel on that, forever, bro.
Never
Especially if it's
comes off.
federal
That's
loans,
rich.
them bitches don't go
So-
away.
So yeah, you have a degree that you could talk about online, but you're on paper, you're destroyed, you're ruined, because, like, you know what I mean, like, you put so much emphasis to this, and now you're making $45,000 a year, and you 70 years old, and you got 2 dogs, you know what I mean, and 4 cats, maybe a sloth somewhere, but like, goddamn, like, listen, I think Joe and Gio said it. Yeah, I'm just kind of fucking with y'all. I love. I'm just kind of fucking with y'all. What Kanye say, like, yo, on that independent shit, but traded off for a husband and some kids. Like, that was a line. That was a bar that he hit. That he threw up.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know. G try to go in some more. Listen, yeah, I see. Listen, family. Listen, this is my. I'm glad. I love to see this. G's red pill. G is 100% red pill now. Like, he not playing with you chicks no more. Get it together, or G really gonna go on y'all on the next podcast we do. G, imagine 2 months from now, G gonna be like, I
height,
hate
weight, dress size.
No,
G gonna be
listen.
like,
I'm on their ass, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sick of y'all shit. I gave y'all some time.
because before y'all 2 was on my ass. Remember the last one we did? Y'all was
Yeah,
like, no, Ty, you too rough, you too mean, so blah, blah, blah. G was the star of this. G was the one getting their ass. Like, he not playing.
I love it, G. I'm with it, G.
My tone be very understanding though. It's just these hoes is tripping. I'm sorry, bro. They like
Yeah, they are.
They
They are, bro.
Listen, let us know what y'all think, family. Like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to post this. Till next time, y'all.
Until next time.